If Bethel is actively leading people away from Christ, we should not be funding their ministry. This is the premise of the video. I hope that we agree on it so far, and let's get into the details about it. Here's what the video is not about. The video is not about contemporary worship in general. The video is not about specific songs. The video is not about specific events like the youth gathering or VBS or whatever. The video is about this one if-then statement. If Bethel, Hillsong, Elevation, these other groups like that, if they are actively leading people away from the gospel, with false doctrine, things that are leading people away from Christ, leading people away from the kingdom of salvation, then we should not be paying them and funding their ministry to do it. So far, I hope that we Christians are in agreement on this premise. Now, are they as bad as I'm saying they are? Go and check out the YouTube channel Fighting for the Faith. Search for Bethel in the YouTube search box for his Pastor Chris Roseborough is the one who does it. He's a Lutheran pastor. He covers New Apostolic Reformation stuff all the time. You see him on Issues, etc., and all over the place. He's like around. Another podcast that's interesting to listen to is called the Cultish Podcast. If you search for Bethel on there, you'll come up with an episode that talks about the Bethel School of Supernatural Ministry. This is one of the things that Bethel does that they use their money for. Listen to these things, and I am personally convinced that these groups are leading people away from Christ. Go ahead and listen to examples from these and other people who have done reports. I know that there's like somewhere out there, there's like a 4-hour-long podcast kind of like documentary on Bethel as a cult and the horrible things that are taught and go on there. If they're as bad as I say they are, again, I hope we're in agreement. If they're as bad as I say that they are, then we probably agree that we shouldn't be funding them. Next question is, are we funding them? Well, how do you fund them? Bethel, they produce music. That's actually what they're most well known for outside of their specific group, is they're known for their music. Bethel has, I don't know if it's a music label or whatever it's called. So Bethel Music. You've got their own logo and stuff, I think like that. When you are paying the Bethel Music group or whatever, that money is going to fund the Bethel ministry. So are you paying, is the money that's going into the offering plates in the LCMS churches, is that going to fund the Bethel ministry through their music program? Well, what happens when you license somebody's music to play? Music is copywritten. So when you have an event or something, or when you're going to play it in your congregation, a lot of times you have to pay royalties. You have to pay licensing fees. So yes, that music is going directly to fund the Bethel ministries that are leading people away from Christ. Hopefully we can agree that maybe that shouldn't be done. Okay, what if you're listening on Spotify or YouTube? In that case, they're getting the ad revenue. So if your organization, if your group, if your meeting, if your congregation is actively promoting Bethel and Hillsong music, they are actively funding this organization, the Bethel Supernatural Ministry or whatever. They're funding these things that are going on. So these ways, that money is coming from faithful Christians, faithful Lutherans, and going to an organization that's pulling people away from Christ. Okay, let's say you pirate the music instead. Well, in that case, you're just stealing it. Yeah, they're not getting any money off of it, but you're just stealing it. And that opens up another problem. Let's say you've got the music and there's no money whatsoever going to these organizations. You found some magical, mystical, legal loophole where you can play their music all day long and they don't see a single red penny and it's just such good songs. Let's assume, first of all, the songs themselves are not problematic, not theologically problematic. You are playing these, theologically perfect songs. You're not giving any money to these organizations. Is there anything wrong with that? Well, what are you implicitly doing by promoting this music, by having this music in your worship service or your VBS or whatever? You are saying, go and listen to more from these people. And you may not have to actively say this, but by playing Bethel music, by playing Elevation music, you are saying, this is the kind of stuff that you should be singing in worship. This is the kind of stuff that you should be listening to. Go and get more from them. In fact, you could go directly to the source. You can go to Bethel and experience firsthand the wonderful nonsense that is going on in their building. All right, so that's another problem. In addition to paying for them, you're also implicitly, promoting them. You're legitimizing them. You're saying Christians should go and listen to these things. And that is leading Christians to ministries that take them away from Christ. Again, hopefully we're in agreement that we should not be doing that. All right, so what are some of the objections? What are some of the reasons that people would want to still use Bethel, Hillsong, Elevation music anyway, in spite of funding these organizations, in spite of promoting these organizations that have bad theology, that have really, really, really bad theology? What are some of the reasons? One of the reasons given is this is good music. It's just good music. Well, I mean, first of all, I got to ask the question, is there like no good music in the LCM? Like, I've got a hymnal here. Like, is there no good music in the hymnal? There's nothing, no Lutherans, no even other Christian denominations that don't have these problematic things. They're not producing any good music at all. None whatsoever. Is that really true? If that's true, this is an opportunity for you to corner the market and for you to make great theologically sound Christian music. Something that's a real bop, something that slaps. You could make some really great Christian music if none exists. So if that's your excuse for why you want to use it, we'll make some instead. You know, find another organization that's gonna provide you the kind of music that you need without the baggage, without paying, again, a ministry that leads people away from Christ. This begs a question, though. Is it good? Is it the best stuff? Because it's not just a question of like, is this song good? But you want to give the best stuff to your youth, the best stuff to your congregation, the best stuff to your VBS. As Christians, and I think it's Luke 11, Jesus is talking about, even the pagans know that when your son asks for a fish, you don't give him a serpent. When your son asks for an egg, you don't give him a scorpion. So when the people in the congregation, when the youth are asking for some good music, you don't give them stuff that's subpar. You give them the best that you got. So is this the best you got? Is this the most theologically sound? Well, what if this is just the music they like? Whether or not it's theologically sound, this is the music they're used to. This is the music that they enjoy. Well, if your son asks you for a serpent or a scorpion to eat, you don't give it to him. You still give him something good instead. So this is an opportunity for you to teach and to train and say, look, I understand what you're asking for. I understand even maybe why you want this sort of thing. But this is not the best for you. Let's try this instead. I know you just want to eat just popcorn all day. Let's try something healthier. Let's try something that's going to benefit you. Did you know that steak can actually taste really good and it's really good for you? It's amazing. You can grill vegetables and slather them in butter and that's actually good for you, better than popcorn? So you want to give people the best thing. So far we've covered 3 points. 1, if these ministries are leading people away from Christ, we should not be giving them money to do that. 2, if these ministries are leading people away from Christ, we should not be promoting their material as good as stuff that Christians should follow and listen to. 3, if these people are leading people away from Christ, their stuff probably isn't the best out there. And if it is the best out here, then we need to start making some. So are we so far on the same page? Are we so far in agreement? I hope so. We want to give good things to God's people. All right. If we're still on the same page, how do you help? How do you help people to get the best stuff and avoid stuff that could be potentially harmful to them or others? Number 1, always pray. Please pray. Every good thing comes from God. Let's involve God in this thing. We want to give the best stuff to God's people. God loves his people. He gives you guys the best stuff anyway. Let's pray to God and ask him for help in this. 2, educate yourself and others. If you don't know what Bethel is, if you don't know what the problems are with Hillsong and Elevation, let's learn about it. Let's learn about this together. And if somebody else doesn't know, maybe this is an opportunity for you to educate them. No, don't be rude like I am. But if your pastor doesn't know about this, say, hey, pastor, I know that we're singing a lot of Bethel songs. I have some concerns about, what they're teaching at their ministry center, at their school, at their church, at their whatever. Can we talk about this and then maybe lead him through this? Share the education that you've gained with your pastor in love and in patience. Next, encourage your pastor, encourage the people in your congregation to encourage your pastor to support synodical resolutions. Now, there's going to be an LCMS synod in Phoenix in this next year. And I already know that there's at least one resolution that's passed in the North Dakota district on this topic. But there are going to be additional resolutions. Hopefully some pastors are going to be getting together and we're going to be working on some resolutions to put forward this thing so we can make sure that people get the best stuff they can, the best music they can, and they're not unintentionally funding or unintentionally platforming these ministries that take people away from Christ. Encourage your pastor to learn more about these things and to vote on these things appropriately and say, yes, we need to prevent this bad from coming into the congregation, from coming into the youth gathering, from coming into VBS, and we need to promote the good so they get the best thing. Because ultimately, this isn't about tearing anything down. This is about building up. This is about giving good things to God's people. This is about protecting God's people from bad things. This is about protecting the world from ministries that want to deprive people of heaven, that want to deprive people of the gospel. This is a good thing that we want to do. And ultimately, again, pray. Get the word out. Talk to others about this in a winsome and loving way. Don't violate the 8th commandment. Don't be impatient, but please talk to others about this. Share information, share videos. This is an important topic. This is not just who cares? It's just people like songs. It's not like that. It's actually important. Get the word out and pray about this. All right. So with that, hopefully we're still on the same page. If these groups are leading people away from Christ, we don't want to give them money to do that. We don't want to platform them, and we can find better stuff than theirs to use. We can love our neighbor like Christ commanded. With that, God bless you all and take care.